Yes, people, you're watching the KMAT channel. I'm going to talk a little bit more about Liverpool today. I'm going to do an hour, maybe an hour and a half, depending on how I feel. Go through loads of transfers, go through loads of updates, go through loads of news, and also talk about the game on Sunday, which is coming up with Arsenal. Tune in, stay tuned. Let's go. Afternoon. I hope you are all well. Obviously, it's Friday. Weekends ahead. Hope you've all had a good week. I hope you all enjoyed the game last night, watching Arsenal. Watching Manchester United and Tottenham get to the finals, which is really interesting because they've been absolutely dreadful in the league, but they managed to get to a final, which is crazy. And I hope you enjoyed the game before that, which was Arsenal getting knocked out by PSG, which I very much did. Really good to have you all here. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please do. Funny. It's lunch. So I hope you're all well. Got a couple of things I wanted to go through today. First of all was there's something quite interesting that Arsene Wenger talked about recently that I wanted to bring up. Let me just find it here. I've got loads and loads of screens open. Apologies. Where are we? Loads and loads of screens open. Actually, what we'll do is we'll start a little bit differently. So we'll talk about the press conference that Arne Slot just did. So there's a couple of things that got brought up in the press conference, which I found quite interesting. My screen's frozen and I can't get back to the StreamYard screen. Yep, I'm back. So bring up a couple of things that were talked about in the press conference. Obviously, Arne Slot was asked about contracts again, and his response was, we don't talk about contracts, which has been his response all season, which is fine. That's kind of what we want him to say, because we want him to be transparent and we want him to make sure that he's not talking about things that can mislead us. Another thing he talked about as well is he was disappointed about the Trent leaving on a free transfer. He made that pretty clear. He also talked about he's not playing teams to lose games, and he understands that the fans want to see the best team out on the pitch, but he had to choose the team depending on what was available. And it's obvious that there was quite a few players that needed a rest, or there was quite a few players that might have still been a bit drunk from the celebrations. And it looks like we've only just done our first training session last week as well. So it looks like he gave the players a bit of time off as well, which is fine. They just won the league, with 4 games to go. So he's allowed to do what he wants there. But he did mention that he doesn't want to lose the next 3 games. He's going to play his full strength team for Sunday. He also mentioned that he's playing Connor Bradley, and Trent hasn't even been in training, which I find really interesting. I've got a couple of things I wanted to show you actually about Trent, which was a wild rumor which can't be true. But I also wanted to mention that. I totally agree with you as well. He did a Sky interview. He's done loads of Sky interviews. Liverpool must have some kind of contractual thing which has happened with the club, with Sky, who's forever doing Sky interviews. He talked about losing to Nottingham Forest again. Like, he just can't get that one out of his system. He hates it. He also talked about he watched the PSG game and he found them really entertaining, which is a lovely little dig at Arsenal, if I'm completely honest, which I think's great. I'm just going to close that screen. Yeah, okay. I've also done a poll as well. I never do polls, but I've also done a poll as well. So let me know what you think, whether you think Mo Salah will win the Ballon d'Or or not. Obviously, Rafinha is out now. So is Lamine Yamal. He's out as well. Dembele's still in. Dembele's had an unbelievable season. He's also done really well with France. So that's quite an interesting one, whether you want to choose him. There's also Lautaro Martinez. He's had a really good season as well. It's whether he'd be a pick as well for the Ballon d'Or. The only difference is Liverpool have won the league, when Mo Salah's been the driving force for it. There's other players in the conversation that have won their league, like Dembele, but PSG were always going to win their league. Like, Liverpool had no chance. Nobody gave them a chance of winning the league. Like, nobody even put them in the top 3 to win the league. Like, that's how out of the blue us winning the league was. Most of the fans didn't think Liverpool could win the league. So the fact that we have in Kante and Mo Salah has been just an unbelievable driving force. He has to be in the conversation. I also wanted to show you some numbers as well on Mo, and he's also just won another award as well for best player of the year. So congratulations to him. So what I want to do is go through just a couple of things. So let's start off with screen share, as always. So I wanted to show you this one first, which is the Trent stuff, which I'm just going to share now. So Slot confirms that Trent Alexander-Arnold hasn't been in training since the announcement. I think that's a real interesting one, because I just don't see him being. I don't see him playing again. No, I think that's him done. So people have an opinion about us. If it's Trent or me or someone else who works in the industry, that's not new for anyone. Probably it's a bit more for him now than he's used to be, maybe a bit more negative than he used to. But I don't follow on this. I'm not here to tell the fans how they should react. I will see Trent in a bit, and the boys have had a few days off. McAllister's been on holiday. He posted up some photos of him on the beach. So he's had a bit of a break, which is good. I'll also wait and see how he feels about him announcing that he's going to leave the club. I will speak to him on WhatsApp. I did speak to him on WhatsApp, but let's see. It's interesting that he communicates on WhatsApp, which is something Arne Slot did. Which is something Jurgen Klopp did, which is interesting that he does that. Also, just on the right back conversation as well, Conor Bradley is to start. We need to see Conor Bradley play some more games. That's pretty obvious. It'd be great if he could play the last 3 games, so we can get like a good idea of whether he's going to be the first team right back next season, or whether he can stay fit. because that seems to be the biggest issue with Conor Bradley. It's not the talent; it's the time that he's on the pitch. It is. It is. You're right. It is logical. There's nothing to say about it. Like, yeah, he did. Yeah. I think it's Marbella. I think they went to Marbella. It's irrelevant, like where they went, but I think it's Marbella. Also wanted to share this as well. So Virgil van Dijk finished in the FWA Footballer of the Year vote, as Mo Salah makes history with Liverpool. Why do videos keep on popping up on everything? It's really annoying. Okay. Okay, so according to the Football Writers Association official website, Liverpool's King won 90% of the vote. It's the biggest margin in the 21st century. So just breaking more records. Just that leaves 10% unaccounted, and most of them were with Virgil. So it's basically Mo and Virgil literally cleaned up the entire award. That's mad. That just shows just how good those two have been this season. Incredible stuff. Really incredible stuff. So let me close this tab. And also Conor Bradley tab. So I have to close tabs because it's making my screen slow. I also wanted to bring up where is it? My screen's frozen again. I'm sorry. Do apologise. I'm having an absolute nightmare with this. Okay, so I want to bring up this. I have got another tab with this on, but I just can't seem to find it. Obviously, McAllister won Premier League Player of the Month award, which is really good. I don't think he's won a Player of the Month award for Liverpool before. If you can put that in the chat if he has, but I don't think he has. He might have won one for Brighton, but I don't think he's won a Player of the Month award for Liverpool yet. So that's really good. He's been great recently. Really, really good recently. Oh, this was the Footballer of the Year award that I wanted to show you, which is this one. Which is brilliant stuff. So that was posted on the Liverpool website. There was also another one that was posted as well, which was this one. 49 appearances, 33 goals, 23 assists. That's Mo Salah. And he's still got 3 games to go, by the way. Which is totally mental, to be fair. So see what happens there. And we're also going to be playing against Crystal Palace, so we're going to be on the beach for the final game of the season. And I think they've also got the FA Cup final coming up, so they're probably going to play a week inside. So God knows how many goals Mo might get that day. But I just want him to break that Thierry Henry record. I just want him to get another 2 assists, and then he can be the GOAT. Then he can really be named the GOAT, you know? I also wanted to show you this as well, which I thought was quite interesting. So we've obviously talked about Liverpool not being the greatest recently. The interesting thing about it is, out of all top 5 leagues in Europe in the last 15 games, we're only 4th in the form table behind PSG, Roma, and Barcelona. So I think it's a little bit. I think we're looking into it a bit too much because we've been so used to us winning so many games, and obviously we went on that 25 game unbeaten run, which was unbelievable. But we've still been really good in the last 15 games, like considering. And obviously, you look at PSG. PSG have just stormed their league. Like it's a farmers' league, isn't it? Let's be fair. Roma have been really good recently. They've had a resurgence under Ranieri. Like they have done well recently. And obviously Barcelona. Barcelona have been winning games left, right, and centre. So I think that's quite an interesting one. But I think also what was interesting in it as well is we are on the same numbers as PSG in basically. So they've won 11, drawn 2, lost 2. Obviously, we've won 11, drawn 2, lost 2. We obviously lost 1 to them. They obviously lost 1 to us, which I think is interesting. And we've obviously scored 33 goals and conceded 15. Roma's numbers are mental, by the way. They've scored 22 goals and conceded 6 in the last 15 games. They have been unbelievable recently. Like, those numbers are insane. Conceded 6 goals in the last 15 games, Roma. I know. That's been crazy, that. I know, and they still won't win the league. They still won't get in the league. So I wanted to show you that. I also wanted to show you this as well. Look, I don't want to poo-poo things, okay? Like the Kevin De Bruyne thing we all know about. But I also wanted to show you this. So Kevin De Bruyne's wife's been spotted house hunting in Napoli. So I don't know what to make of that, but Napoli have obviously been heavily linked to Kevin De Bruyne. So make of that how you will. A wet dream of mine is Julian Alvarez with Kevin De Bruyne supplying him goals, and then McAllister in midfield. Like that is a wet dream of mine, with Mo Salah on the right hand side, and then obviously Kevin De Bruyne's best mate as Virgil van Dijk as a centre back. Like that is just, it doesn't get any better than that for me. Like with a spine like that in your team, you got Ali, Van Dijk, McAllister, Kevin De Bruyne, Alvarez, and Salah. My God, you're going to win the league. You're going to win the league with that team. Like you can put anybody you want on the left and right side, and in next to him defence and next to him midfield. I don't think it matters. But if you've got a team like that with that many unbelievable stars in it, like you're going to have a huge chance. It's an interesting one. It's a fair point. He is Italian as well. Like, why would Marzio do that if he's Italian, and he would know that Kevin De Bruyne's wife's in Napoli looking at houses. So I don't know. Do what you will with that, okay? But I just wanted to mention it. What else? What else have I got? I've got a couple of other things here to cover. Football of the year, get rid of that. This one's interesting. Definitely wanted to bring this one up. So this is a blast from the past. So this is a list of top scoring trios from 17-18 season. So we may think that Mo Salah has had an amazing season, but it's not even close to how we played in that year. We got 91 goals from Salah, Firmino, and Mane that year. Like, just let that sink in. And PSG had Neymar, Mbappe, and Cavani that year. And Barcelona had Messi, Suarez, and Coutinho. And Real Madrid had Ronaldinho, Bale, and Benzema. And we still scored 91 goals that year. That is absolutely unbelievable. Frightening numbers. Frightening numbers. They were just goals. 133 GA combined in that year. Bloody hell, mate. I tell you what, big up with those numbers, by the way, with those stats. Love that stuff. So I thought I'd bring that one up. What else have I got for you? I've got this funny, which I thought you might like. So Kevin Hart met Virgil, and he took a photo of him, and he couldn't fit his head in there. I just thought it was funny. I just thought it's a funny photo. And he's also got Nathan Ake in there as well. Nathan Ake's a bit shorter, so you can see his face. But Virgil, you can't even see his head. So I thought I'd throw that in there just as a funny. What else have I got for you? I've also got bad news. Bad news, Pierce. Basically confirming that the Kevin De Bruyne stuff's not true. There's been no offer from Liverpool. That was yesterday. Obviously, Doomsday Pierce was always gonna give you an answer. What else have I got for you? This one I thought was brilliant, and I agree with this, by the way. Arsene Wenger says the Europa League winners should not get Champions League football. Do you agree? Do you agree with that, chat? There's 60 plus of you in here. If you haven't hit the like and subscribe, please do. Helps the algorithm. Also, please write a comment if you've got anything you want to add. Definitely hit me up in the chat. I'm here to listen. Do you agree? Do you agree that Arsene Wenger is right, that Europa League winners should not get Champions League football? I agree. I totally agree. I don't think Europa League winners should get Champions League football. I don't. You disagree. You think it makes it more interesting. I think Champions League football is for champions. Listen to the word. Champions League football is for champions. I don't even think Champions League football should have second place, third place, fourth place in it, if I'm completely honest. I think you get into the Champions League when you win your league, or potentially the runner-up. So say 1 and 2. But it shouldn't be 5 or 6 teams. Otherwise, what is the point? There's no massive incentive. There isn't a huge incentive to win the league anymore, because a lot of teams aren't that bothered about winning the league because they get into the Champions League and they make so much money off it. That's how it was back in the day. You're absolutely right. That's when we won it loads, by the way. That's when we dominated it. That's when we won four cups, is when we were champions. It is. It's all about the money. It's all about the money. I think it's a really interesting one. I mean, it is interesting though, because if you look at the final, you've got PSG who won their league, yeah, and then you've got Inter Milan who won their league, so that's fair, yeah. But the teams who they played before, Barcelona didn't win the league. Yeah, Barcelona didn't win the league. And then you've got Arsenal didn't win the league. So there's an element of that. And then the teams before that, Liverpool didn't win the league. You know what I mean? And then you've got other teams that didn't win the league, like that were in the competition till quite to the latter stages. So yeah, I feel like maybe one or two should go into the Champions League, but I don't think 6 teams should qualify for the Champions League. I think it's ridiculous. I just do. I really do think it's ridiculous. So I think Arsene Wenger's got a point. And I mean, a lot of stuff he says is pretty much on point, by the way. What else have I got for you? I have this one. I don't really know what to make of this. So rumours circulating last night that Manchester City and Pep Guardiola are attempting to hijack the Trent Alexander-Arnold move to Real Madrid and to offer him insane wages for a move. I honestly don't know what to make of that. Like, if he accepted a move to Manchester City on a free transfer, he might as well just throw all of his medals in the bin, and he might as well change his postcode permanently, because I don't think he'll be able to come back to Liverpool, even to see family. Like, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Like, it does sound like a bit of a April Fool's, and it does smell like BS. But you're right, James. His brother's going to be all over that. Like, that's a money spinning opportunity like you will never see. Manchester City need a right back. Like, I'm not going to lie, are we? Like Walker's gone. Like, he's leaving. He's not even at the club now. So they need a right back. And is Rico Lewis the right back for them, or is Nunes the right back for them? No, they need a right back. So they're looking at Cambiasso, but if they can get Trent on a free, and if Trent's not bothered about burning all his bridges, which he may well have done already, to be honest. I mean, he's not in training, and he's been dropped from the first team squad. Do you really think he cares that much? Like, if he's talked about legacy, and he's talked about getting the captaincy, and he's talked about, you know, all of these things that mean so much to him, and then he's fucking off to Real Madrid on a free transfer to piss all the fans off. Do you really think he's bothered if he goes to Man City? I don't know, but you're not wrong. Pep does like Trent. Pep absolutely loves Trent. It's an interesting one. I thought I'd drop that in there because it popped up last night. It was on goal.com. What else have I got for you? Why do you keep on bringing ads up? Sorry, there's an ad that's come up, which means I can't. Yeah, so there's this one. This is where it came up as well. Manchester City open Trent Alexander talks with 4 clubs named amid preference reveal. So there's 4 clubs that have all spoken to him. Remember, he's available on a free transfer, and he hasn't agreed. He hasn't agreed with Real Madrid yet. So in here, it also talks about Barcelona and PSG. We've got Real Madrid, Manchester City, Barcelona, and PSG are all interested in him on a free transfer, because remember, he's agreed that he's leaving on a free. He hasn't confirmed that he's going to Real Madrid yet. Like, that hasn't been announced that he's going to Real Madrid. Like, I know we all think he is. I totally get that. I totally get that. But money talks, and if he gets offered an absolute boatload of money to go to PSG or to go to Barcelona, who, by the way, he said that was his favourite club in Spain a couple of years ago, then it's a fair point. They could just be shit staring. You're true. But you think he's 100% off to Real Madrid. Also, Xabi Alonso is being announced as the next Real Madrid manager when Ancelotti goes at the end of the season. So he's going to be playing under Alonso, which is also an interesting one. What else have we got for you? I thought this one was quite interesting. So this was Ian Graham. Did an interview recently. He basically said, that Liverpool wanted to sign Diego Costa instead of Christian Benteke. So Liverpool wanted to sign Diego Costa instead of Benteke, and it was Brendan Rodgers that wanted Benteke. Benteke only lasted a year, by the way, just in case you didn't know. Benteke was awful for us. He only lasted 6 months under Klopp, and then he beat him. But Diego Costa was an absolute monster, wasn't he? And you have to look at the scouting committee under Edwards. So this was the type of signing that they wanted. And the reason why I'm talking about Diego Costa is he's a number 9 that can hold the ball up, that's very good in the air, very good at scoring goals, really strong. And you have to look at, is there a type of player now that we're linked with who's similar to that mould? And you have to look at that kind of mould because that's what the committee think the number 9 should be for Liverpool. Nothing's changed. We've got Edwards back and we've got the same committee. We've still got the same people that looked Brendan Rodgers in the scouting committee. None of them have moved. They're all still there. I mean, the only guy who's not there is Ian Graham, but the rest of the team is still there. So if you're looking at a Diego Costa, similar type of player, then I don't think you look anywhere more than Osimhen or Alvarez. Really gnarly player that holds the ball well and gets involved in play and can score goals. Like with his head, great finishes, really big character. Yeah, so I just thought that was quite interesting that I seen. This one. So this one is Ekitike. I wanted to bring up this about Ekitike. Are we still here? Can you let me know in the chat? Can you let me know in the chat? Can you see me? Okay, sorry, my screen completely crashed. So let me just share my screen again. Yeah, my screen just crashed. So I literally, I literally just crashed. Sorry, guys and girls. Okay, so I'm back. So let me just share this again. Okay, so I'm closing. I've got to close some more tabs because I think my browser might crash. I've got Sky Sports tab open. I think it's taking all the bandwidth. I've got to close it. Yeah, it was Sky Sports. Sorry. Yeah, Sky Sports were taking up all my bandwidth. Okay. So this one here about Ekitike. So there's been no bids or no communication with Liverpool. But also Manchester City are interested as well with him. They're interested in linking him and Mamouche up together, but they're going to have to pay like 80 million, 90 million. But it is saying that Liverpool are keen on him, but there hasn't been any communication recently, which I'm kind of thinking that price tag has just put us off. So I would probably scratch that one off the list. This one's quite interesting. I was listening to Jamie Phillips yesterday on Big Up with Coppish talking about Rodrigo. It's quite an interesting one. He's on 200 grand a week, Rodrigo. The only thing about Rodrigo is he's had a poor season. He's only got 11 GA this season, as you can see. If you're going to get Rodrigo, you're going to have to play him on the left. So that's a case of Diaz and Cody Capco are maybe sold because Rodrigo's going to be your starter. Like, you don't sign Rodrigo on 200 bags a week for 100 million and you don't start him. Otherwise, there's no point signing a marquee player like that. And he certainly isn't going to play in the number 9 position. And he's certainly not going to play on the right because he doesn't like playing on the right. But he seems to have played there all the time because of Vinicius Jr. And now he's a bit of a scapegoat. So I just feel that the Rodrigo rumours are just not true, and I just can't see that happening. I can't see us spending that kind of money on a player that we don't actually need on the left. Like, we got, like, I'll show you the amount of where is it? So I will show you the goal tally this season for Liverpool. Can you see on the right hand side? So you've got 33 goals from Mo, you've got 17 goals from Cody, and you've got 16 goals from Diaz. I mean, you combine them together and it's more than Mo. You combine them together and it's 35 goals between the pair of them this season, which is more than Mo. So you're getting the output on the left-hand side. Unfortunately, you're just not getting the output through the centre when all you've got is 9. You've got 16 goals from Jota and Núñez together, which is the same as Luis Diaz. I mean, Luis Diaz scored a few goals in the centre as well, to be fair, but I can't really quantify them because I don't know how many he scored. But you just look at the numbers from Núñez. They're similar to our midfielders. Like Dominic Szoboszlai and McAllister have got the same amount of goals as Núñez and have got more assists, which just shows how bad our number 9 has been. He's been absolutely dreadful this year. Like, absolutely dreadful. Like, our 2 central midfielders have got better GA than our starting number 9 this season, which is just awful. It really is. Just, Trent's GA is almost the same as Núñez's, which is just, he's a right back. Anyway, I don't really need to go into those details that much, but you take Núñez, Trent, and Jota out of the team next year, you're going to need to replace that GA and probably Elliott as well. So you're going to have to replace that GA. So even if you just added up those numbers, so you've got 12 from Jota, you've got 12 from Nunes, that's 24. Then you've got 11 from Trent, that's 35. And then you've got 6 from Elliott. So that's 41 GA you need back into the team, because you're going to lose that from those 4 players. So you're going to have to get an Osimhen or an Alvarez who's going to give you, I don't know, 25 GA potentially. 25 GA potentially in there. So that's half of your GA back. And then you're going to have to get one more. So whether that's going to be a Frimpong, I mean, Frimpong's probably going to give you 15 GA just as the right back. So you have to look at these kind of numbers, and that's how I'm visually seeing it, as a number game like that. So if I just bring up FB Ref now, and I'm going to bring up 2 players that we're linked with, okay? Because what you're going to be doing is you're going to be putting what you need to do is you need to just calculate. This is just on a data set, yeah. So we're looking at replacing potentially near enough 40 GA from 4 players into the team, yeah, because we need to input more into the team. We need more than 40, by the way, yeah, because we need more goals from the number 9, yeah, and we need more assists from other players, yeah. So we need to put that back into the team. So say, for example, we replace Trent with Frimpong, yeah. So Frimpong got this season. This is just this season, okay? Where are we? He's still only 23, by the way, just in case you didn't know. He's still only 23 years old. So Frimpong got this season 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 GA. Yeah? So Frimpong gives you 13 GA already. Yeah, which is more than Trent. Okay? So I'm just going to write this in the chat, by the way. So he gave 13 GA into the team. Okay, that's just Frimpong. Okay. Then we look at another player that we're potentially linked with. Yeah. So we'll do Alvarez just for now, because I think Alvarez is definitely one that we could make happen, especially when they're linked with other strikers. So let's just put Alvarez in the equation. Yeah. So say we got Alvarez to replace Nunes Jota. Yeah. Okay, so we've got 17 plus 7. That's 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, plus another 8. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Okay, so we're replacing 32 GA from Alvarez. Yeah, this is just this season. So if you're looking at how I'm working this out, you've already replaced the GA that you're taking out of the team from the other 4 players with just these 2 alone. Yeah. So you've got 32 for Alvarez and 13 for Frimpong. So you're already taking out. So you've already added 45 GA into the team. 100%, mate. And you're only saying that because you don't want us to get Isak from you. And I get it. I get that. I totally get that. So if you look at that alone, yeah, you're taking out, and I'm going to go back to this screen. Sorry, I know I've gone on a bit of a tangent here. I didn't plan on doing this, by the way. I didn't plan on going on this tangent, but I have. Where is it? Here. Okay, so we'll work this out again. Yeah. So if we remove the GA out of this team, I'm going to do this on a calculator, by the way, because it's easier. Okay, so if we remove the GA out of the team, 12 plus 12 plus, I'm just not going to do the goals and assists separately. We'll just do it as completely one entity. 11 plus 6. 41, okay? 41 GA from 4 players. You're replacing 45 GA with 2 players. This is the difference. This is what I'm trying to talk about, okay? So, and then we haven't got a number 10. So we haven't actually brought a number 10 in, because all we brought in is we brought a right back in Frimpong and we brought Alvarez in, yeah? As in those 2 players, yeah? Even if we didn't bring Alvarez, yeah, and we went for a different option, okay? Say we went for Osimhen. Yeah, say we went for a Victor Osimhen. Okay, and we just look at his numbers for this year. Okay, so we just look at his numbers. And we can look at other players, by the way. Like I'm not just pigeonholing like these 2 guys in, but these 2 guys are very, very high on the list. Like, I don't think there's probably not many in there. Brian Mbeumo is one of them as well that maybe we could look at. But if we just look at Victor Osimhen this year, he's got 29 GA in the league plus 7 in the Europa League. So he hasn't got any other GA, which gives him 36. I mean, it's pretty close to... It's not really much difference. So, okay, that gives us 46 GA instead of 45. So it's much of a muchness. But then if you're looking at a player that we might get in who might provide more GA into the team than we've currently got, then you could also look at Kerkez. So say we add Kerkez on the left, yeah? So I'm just bringing Kerkez in. So this is another player. So this would be the 3rd player that we add into the team. Then you're looking at adding another 7 GA into that. So say we got Alvarez, Frimpong and Kerkez, yeah? That then gives us 45 GA, 50 GA, 52 GA. So that then puts 52 GA back into the team, just as a standard, yeah? Remember, they're coming from clubs where they might not get as many chances as they would for Liverpool. And they're playing with better players when they come to Liverpool. So Alvarez's numbers will probably increase. And he's also playing in a very defensive-minded team with Simeone. And also, you have to look at Kerkez. Kerkez might get a shitload more of assists because he's going to be playing the ball to Osimhen or to Alvarez or to Salah. And Salah and them guys are going to score more goals. And also Diaz and Cody Gakpo. Like, you have to look at these scenarios. And this is how I think about it. I think about it as a pure data. Like, just take the GA out and replace the GA in. And are we going to improve? Yeah. If we get those 3 players, we are massively improving from a lower GA to a much higher GA. So you see where I'm coming from? So this is only 3 players. Say we add 1 more. Say we go and get 1 more player. Say we actually go and get another striker because we're getting rid of Nunes, Jota, and Chiesa. Yeah. Say we go and get another striker. So say we go and get a Brian Mbuemo, because we are looking at him. Like we do really like him. By the way, he is a player that's high on our list. So say we go and got a Brian Mbuemo, yeah. Then you're adding another 24 GA. 25. You're adding another 25 GA into that team. So then you're putting the team into the likes of 52, 62, 72. 77 GA is then going back into Liverpool with 4 signings. And that's how you have to look at it. It's genuine how you have to look at it. Like, that's how I'm looking at it from a data perspective. Like, if we went and got Alvarez and Mbuemo, and then we got Frimpong and Kirkez, that's 77 GA from those 4 signings that happened last year at clubs that aren't as good as Liverpool, that don't create as many chances as Liverpool, that don't score as many goals as Liverpool, that don't concede as many goals as Liverpool. So you have to look at it like that. You genuinely have to look at it like that. And that's how I'm seeing it. And even if you took Brian Mbuemo out of the team and you only get 3 of those, it's still 52 GA replacing just over 30. Like, I don't know about you, but I'm excited about that. Like that really does make me feel a lot comfortable knowing that getting these guys in could be a game changer, could really take us to the next level. And there's another guy that we're linked with as well, which I'm gonna bring up as well. And this is recently, by the way, but I've been talking about him. I've been talking about him for time. I think he's basically a regen of Toni Kroos. He's 24. We could probably get him for about 45 million. His name's Angelo Stiller. He's got some of the best pass progression in the league. He's absolutely sensational. So he's got 9 plus 3 plus 1. So he's got 13 GA this season. Actually, he's got more. No, he's got 13 GA this season for start. So you might go and get him as well. So you're adding another 13 GA onto 77 GA, or we don't get Brian Mbuemo, and we maybe keep Ben Doak, or we play Rio Gagamoa, yeah, as a backup for Mo, and then we go and get an Angelo Stiller to be that extra midfielder. Then you're adding another 13 GA. So you add 13 GA onto 52, yeah. Then you've got 65 GA instead. So then you're looking at 65 GA with Stiller and not another striker. So you have to look at it like that. Like, we are literally doubling our current GA from the 4 players that we'd be selling to replace with 4 players that they're not all attackers, but they're providing a huge amount of GA from their positions. Like, to get 9 GA out of a left back who currently we get 0. We get nothing. We get no assists and we get no goals from Andy Robertson. We get no assists and we get no goals from Kostas Tsimikas. Like, we don't. We get 0 out of both those players, and you're replacing them with a guy that can do almost 10, which is pretty much what Trent does, by the way, in the last couple of seasons. There or thereabouts, 10 GA. So you've got nearly 15 GA on the right-hand side, and you've got 10 from the left-hand side. Like, and you've also got pace, which you haven't got now. There's no pace on the left and there's no pace on the right. Trent's not fast. Robbo's not fast. So you're upgrading those two areas massively and inputting a huge amount of GA back into the team. And that's what it's all about. That is what it's all about. You don't win the Premier League and you don't win trophies if you don't have GA in your team. Like, you just don't. And we're really good defensively. Like, if we keep Virgil, Ali, and Konate fit all season, then we're golden. We're absolutely golden. And if you do want to talk about defenders and you say, okay, then, so maybe we sign a defender instead of a midfielder, yeah? And we are looking at Huijsen. We are looking at Dean Huijsen. Like, it is a fact. We're looking at this guy, and he's absolutely sensational in all areas. Like, this weird conversation that people are having about this guy saying he's not good in the air is just nonsense. He wins nearly 70% of his duels. Like, that's pretty much the same as Konate. So it's just nonsense. So this guy's got 4 GA already this season from the back, which is pretty much what Virgil does on a regular basis. So, okay, you take Stiller out of the team who did 9. Well, you replace him with a guy that does 4 or 5. So we go from 65 GA to 60. It's still double. Even though you're taking a midfielder and you're putting in a defender, we're not going to get Murillo. We're not going to get Murillo. We're not going to get Murillo because Nottingham Forest are not a team that's going to sell a lot of players. And I think maybe they'll get rid of their midfielder to Man City for like 100 million. But he's only got like 1 or 2 years left. I think he's got 2 years left on his contract. So, but Murillo only signed last season. I just don't see Murillo going. He's just signed a new contract. He signed a new contract start of the season. I just don't see it. So, if you're just looking at players that we're linked with, like, the list isn't very big, by the way. It just isn't. So, okay, say we didn't get Kerkez and say we went for Robertson. Yeah, say we went for Anthony Robinson. Why can't I find him? Have I suddenly started spelling his name wrong? Oh, there he is there. Sorry. Okay, so say we went and got Anthony Robinson, which is another player that we've looked at heavily, by the way. So say we went and got him. What's his GA this season? Okay, his GA is the same as Kerkez's 10. He's got 10 assists. So he's pretty much a much of a muchness. We go and get a guy that does pretty much the same. Elliot Anderson, not a chance. Like, he's their star player. Like, he's so good for them. I don't think we get him. I also think Newcastle might have a buyback on him. Gibbs will go to City. We should be happy that Gibbs goes to City because Wirtz is going to Bayern Munich. So we should be happy that Wirtz isn't going to City, because if Wirtz went to City, then we're off for a really hell of a long season next season, because he's just phenomenal. And he would be the ideal Kevin De Bruyne replacement for Man City, which could kind of keep them ticking in midfield. But because he's not, means we might actually have a chance to go again. So, I mean, I don't really need to show you like any of the Frimpong stuff because there's just so much of it, because he's just all over the place. But it really looks like Frimpong is probably the one. And I get that people are negative about the fact that, oh well, he can't defend. Look, all I can say about Frimpong is, and I'm just going to go on main camera. All I can say about Frimpong is he got signed from Celtic to Bayer Leverkusen because he was a really good right back, and they won loads and loads of league titles with him. Like I think he won like 2 or 3 with him as their right back, and it's not his fault that he's put in a position and played in a team where he doesn't need to do any defending. Like he doesn't need to defend because he's playing in a Xabi Alonso team where they have 3 at the back and he's a wing back that just attacks. So it's not needed. Like he's not there to do any defending. So he might actually be a good defender. It's just he doesn't need to defend. So if we play him in the same position, then we play him in the same position. And let's be fair, we have a team on the right-hand side that doesn't do a lot of defending. Like Trent doesn't do it. Salah doesn't do it. So is it going to make any difference? It just means that Dominic Szoboszlai is still going to do the babysitting, and Gravenberch is still going to do the babysitting, and Canate is still going to do a bit of moving over to the right. But what we have got, which we haven't had before, is we've got a defender there now on the right in Frimpong, who's one of the fastest players in European football. And Manchester City won multiple league titles with a guy that wasn't a very good defender in Kyle Walker. But guess what he did? He could run really fast. He could get back really fast. And Frimpong can do the same. He can run really fast. And that's something we've never had. We haven't had a pacey right back for, 7 years, 8 years. Like, say what you want about all of Trent's positives, but one of them is he isn't fast. Trent isn't fast. Like, or if he is fast, I've never seen it. I've never seen him running his ass back. So for me, Frimpong makes a lot of sense. And if you're going to have a player that you might play in Salah's position because you want to rest Salah, then you have the option of playing Frimpong there as well. And also Mbeumo. Very good point. Mbeumo is heavily linked with Liverpool. Like everything about Mbeumo fits Liverpool. Everything about it. Just it's the whole process of Mbeumo's career. Like he joined Brentford, he's gone up a level, he's gone up another level, he's now become the main man. He's now doing what Mane did at Southampton. All the data looks at Mbeumo for me as a potential suitor for Mo Salah when Mo Salah moves on in a couple of years. And Mbeumo might be able to do the number 9 position as well. He might be able to fill in as the right winger position. He can fill in a number of positions, and Liverpool see him as a very viable option if we don't get Alvarez, Isak, or Osimhen. It's Alvarez, Isak, Osimhen, and Mbeumo, and then potentially Sesko at the end of that pile. That's how it's all laid out. It's all laid out like that. Like the Osimhen deal will depend on whether the other two fall through. If we can't get Alvarez, and then if we can't get Isak, because we're both trying for Isak and Alvarez, 100%, the Osimhen deal can happen. We know it can because it almost happened in January. So that deal can happen. So we don't really need to do a huge amount of work on that. We've already got all of the ducks lined up. So if we need to pull the trigger, we just activate the release clause for 60 million and he just comes to Liverpool. And it's £265,000 a week contract, I believe. So anyone saying that he's on 400 grand is talking tosh. He's on reasonable wages. So I think that could happen. And you also have to look at Alvarez. Alvarez is only on about 120k a week. And Atletico Madrid have only paid 64 million for Alvarez. Like all the other, I know it was a 90 million deal, 90 million euro deal, but all of the options were add-ons, and they didn't win the league. They didn't win the Champions League. He hasn't hit the quota of games played yet, so none of those add-ons have been hit, which means they've only paid 64 million. So if we give them Nunes and give them 60 million, they're on a win-win situation because they're going to make 60 million and they're going to get Nunes, who could easily replace him. Nunes could be brilliant in Spain. He gets more time on the ball. I did just mention that earlier that that Alonso's leaving Leverkusen to go to Real Madrid. I did say that. So it's a perfect time to cash in. I mean, they don't need to cash in. It's a fair point, actually. When was 265 grand reasonable? I know, but now you've got the big hitters. Now you've got the likes of Mo on 400. You've got Virgil on 400. Trent was offered 400. Robbo's on 160. Trent was on 180. You're moving those players out of the team. Jota's on 150. He goes. Chiesa's on 150. He goes. Nunes is on 140. He goes. Elliott's on 70. He goes. You're moving out those wages. 265 is going to be doable. It's going to be doable. And then the likes of Canate wants 250. He wants 250, by the way. That he wants 250. I know people are talking about 200. He wants 250. He wants 75% of what Virgil's on, because he thinks that he is 75% of Virgil. Like, he's not Virgil, but he's close, and that's why his agent wants his bump to be massive. Giovanni Reed said he wants us and prefers EPL over. I don't think it's going to happen. I just don't see it. I don't see Liverpool going for any more projects. Like, we've got Edwards and Hughes at the club. Like, I don't see us going for any projects. I see us going for players that were projects when they went to their last club and they've proven that they're not a project anymore. Like, maybe we didn't go for Dean Huijsen from Juventus and we were looking at Lenny Yoro because we thought Lenny Yoro was more of a finished article. And Huijsen's gone to Bournemouth and balled it. And now we're looking at him going, well, he's not a project anymore. Kirkes isn't a project anymore. Anthony Robinson's not a project anymore. Alvarez certainly isn't. He's a finished article. Osherman's a finished article. Isak's a finished article. Angelo Stiller's a finished article. Like, we're looking at players that are on the similar elks of the likes of your McAllisters, your Soberslais, to a certain extent, your Cody Gapcos and your Diaz's, where they've done a number of years and they're finished. Like, they're ready to make the next step. Like, Cody Gapco was ready to make the next step. Like, I think Kirkes is ready to make the next step. Dean Huijsen, I think he probably needs another year. But I do think he goes to Madrid if they don't get Canate. I do. And we are interested in Hato, but Chelsea are as well. I don't think so. I think we may give him near 250. I think we might go to 220. I think he's worth it. Like, you have to look at it. You'll have to look at it from his point of view. Like he goes into the negotiations and he has all the power, by the way, because he's walking into the negotiations and he's literally saying, guys, I've won a Premier League. I've been in a World Cup final. I've done this. I've done that. Like, I've won the Champions League. Did he win the Champions League with us? I think he did. Yeah, he did. He's got a lot of credentials to back him up. And he can also sit there and go, I'm not even in my prime. Like, I'm 25. Like, I'm only 25. Like, I've now had the longest amount of time I've ever played in a season on the pitch in the last season. So we can also say, you can't beat me with the I'm always injured stick, because I played over 2,500 minutes this season, which is the most I've ever played. So he's now at a stage where he's on the pitch more. He plays more games. He's not injured anymore as much. Like, he got that injury. That wasn't his fault. He got absolutely hacked down by Endrich. Like, it was a horrible tackle. That wasn't his fault. Like, he got his knee taken out by Endrich. Like, that wasn't a muscle injury. That wasn't a hamstring. That was a genuine footballing injury. Like, so you have to look at those parts of the conversation. And his agent's going to be sat there going, like, Konate can walk into a lot of big clubs. Like, Real Madrid want him, Barcelona would take him, Bayern Munich would take him, PSG want him, like, Manchester City would take him. I wouldn't be surprised if Arsenal would take him. Like, he is a very, very good player that we wanted in any big team in the world. But the conversation we need to have is Konate going to be as good as Virgil van Dijk in 2 years' time? Because Virgil will be 35 and he will probably then go to Saudi Arabia, and Konate will then be 27. Does he replace Virgil van Dijk as the leader of the team? Maybe not the leader, because I think that would probably be McAllister, if I'm completely honest. I think McAllister will be the next captain after Virgil. Like, because Mo would have moved on by then, unless he stays. And unless Virgil stays again, you don't know. But would he be a vice captain? So you've got McAllister captain, you've got Konate vice captain, two really big players. But then if we get Alvarez, then would Alvarez be looking at a captaincy? He's also a leader as well, type of player like that. It's an interesting one. I just want to throw that out there. But we've had this conversation. Would you be happy with Konate to be your first choice centre back and your main centre back this season going forward? I wouldn't. I wouldn't feel comfortable with it. So 2 years' time, would I feel comfortable with it? Well, we'd hope so, wouldn't we? We'd hope so, that he would be that guy. So that's the conversation he needs to have about that contract, because they're going to be signing him on a 5-year deal on 200 plus grand a week to be that guy, to eventually be the Virgil van Dijk successor in the captain and the leader at the back. So that's the conversation. And if we don't think he's good enough, or we don't think he warrants that much wages, then clearly they don't see that. Clearly they don't see Konate as that guy. Otherwise, you absolutely pay him 250 or 200. You absolutely pay him that money, because that's what he's going to be. He's going to be the main guy for Liverpool at the back for years to come. So until he turns Virgil van Dijk's age, you know what I mean? And then you do the other rotation again. Like, maybe Dean Huijsen is then the next guy who then gets his contract in when he's 25. You know what I mean? We have to look at it like that. And I think that's an interesting conversation to have. But I just wanted to actually bring up Konate's season. Where are we? So I'm just going to bring this up, because these are the people that this is what's happening at Liverpool. This is the ongoing conversations. So this season, Where are we? Yeah, this season. So 28 starts, 2,500 minutes. He's probably had more actually. So he's had 2,000. Yeah, he has. He's had about 2,500 minutes on the pitch. He's got four GA, by the way, this season for us. I mean, it's the longest he's been. It's the longest he's been fit for Liverpool. This season. So yeah, he's 25. He's on wages. Have a quick look at the bottom. So he's on. Where's his wage summary? Got his wage summary? No, we haven't. Okay, we haven't got his wage summary, but I think he's on 80 grand or 90 grand a week. I think he's on like 80, 90 grand a week at Liverpool. So he wants a pay rise, and you know, at the end of the day, you have to be honest. Like, he probably deserves one. Also, Dean Huijsen's linked with Tottenham as well. I mean, I can't see that one happening, to be honest. I mean, if he does go to Chelsea, which he's also linked with, then it's all about the money, and he can just do one. Like, you know, he can just do one. If he goes to Chelsea, then it's all about the money. Like, just it is what it is. Like, Liverpool's the better project. I mean, if he does go to Tottenham, then he's probably going to be replacing the Argentine. He might end up going to Real Madrid or Saudi. I don't know. But that just popped up. Also, this one has also come up as well. Saudi Arabia are interested in Mo Salah and not Mo Salah, Nunez and Diaz in a 100. What did I say? Is it 130 million? 135 million. 135 million pound swoop by Al Hilal, by the way, and this one I find really interesting because it's by one club. So it's Al Hilal after two players. I'd be all for that. I'd be fine. I'd be fine with both of them moving on for 135 million. I think Diaz has been great this season. Like, I'm not knocking him at all. I think he's been great. He's been good on the left. He's been good as a number 9. I'd be more than happy to have him as our backup number 9 next season. I really would. If he was our rotation for number 9 and the left wing next season, Diaz, I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine with it. But if we could get 70 million for him, then I'm biting your hand off. Like, I'm taking that for a 29-year-old. I'm taking that for a 29-year-old. Like, taking that all day long. We paid what, 36 million for him? Like, I'm taking that. Like, just give me the money. Like give me the money and just go and buy Brian Mbeumo. Like, just go and buy Brian Mbeumo. There's your replacement there. Or use that money. Use all that money to go and get Alvarez. Like, just use all that money. Just sit there with 135 million at the Atletico Madrid board and go, okay, would you take 80? No. Okay, would you take 85? No. Okay, would you take 90? No. Okay, would you take 95? No. Okay, would you take 100? No. Would you take 105? No. Would you take 110? Maybe. Okay, what about 115? Oh, you're nearly there. Okay, 120? Yep, that sounds good. Okay, great, done. How high would have you gone, by the way? Well, I had 135 in my pocket, but you took 120. Anyway, that's my feelings on it. Anyway, so I'd be more than happy for those two to leave for that much money, and then we go and invest that in Alvarez, and then we can sit there with how much, 15 million left there, and then we can go and invest that in Frimpong or somebody else, more investment. But then we've still got Jota to sell, and we've also got Elliott to sell, we've also got Kostas Tsimikas to sell, we've also got Joe Gomez to sell, Quansah to sell, Morton to sell, Doak. If you want to get rid of Endo, if you want to get rid of Queven Keller, like there's plenty more players that could leave the club that aren't even in the first team. There's a lot of players. Big up, Bright. I remember I counted 17 on your show, mate. 17 players that could potentially move on, that we could happily invest or get a reserve type signing in to replace them. Plenty. What else have I got as well? What else have I got? So obviously the Dean Huyson piece. There's also like rumors that they'd be interested in taking installments. Like that's doable. The Elliott thing's really interesting as well, though, with the Elliott, because Elliott's been linked with Wolves with a £40 million offer. He's also been linked with Brighton. He's also been linked with Bournemouth. He's also been linked with Bayer Leverkusen. That's not going to happen because Xabi Alonso's leaving, so that won't happen. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's coming out about people saying that we should go for Ollie Watkins. I just don't see it. Like, I just don't understand why we go for Ollie Watkins. Like, he misses way too many chances, like just as many as Nunes. He's had one really good breakout season, but nah, not for me. I'm sorry. What else have we got? There's also more links to Diaz leaving on a £68 million bid from Saudi Arabia for Al Hilal. Yeah, this is the Al Hilal one. So 68 million they've offered. It's really interesting as well because I was listening to Lewis Steele talk about also this one as well, which I thought I would bring up. 2 seconds. This one's really interesting. This is about I thought this one was interesting. So this one is about Gerald Quansah to Forest for 30 million. So Nottingham Forest are interested in Gerald Quansah and are ready to put in. So Liverpool are open to considering offers reportedly at 30 million with Forest and Newcastle, and also 7 German sides. Did you see that? 7 German teams are also monitoring Quansah's situation. I don't know what you think about that, but I think that's a really interesting one. The Gerald Quansah, I think, is off. I think Gerald Quansah is being sold. And I think 30 million of pure profit, pure PSR profit goes into the coffers, which you can then turn into 5 years of payments, which means that you turn 30 million into 150 million because it's pure profit. And you can monetize that over 5 years in payments, which means we could go and get a number of players with that money. I think that's a really interesting one. I think 30 million is a great deal for a player we didn't pay a penny for. I think it's a great deal. You also have to look at Queven Keller as well. Queven Keller could probably go for 30 million. We didn't pay a penny for him. And then you've also got Harvey Elliott, who cost us less than 5 million. Gomez, that cost us 5 million. These guys could all go for 30, 40 million. If we do things the right way with our transfers that we sell, Tyler Morton was a free transfer. He came through the academy. There's another 15 million there. Genuinely, Liverpool could really put themselves in a strong financial position for the next couple of years if we work out these sales the right way for players that didn't cost us any money and came through the academy. It's pure profit. And it puts us in great stead for next year, maybe we go and buy another two marquee players to boost the team. And then the year later, we then go and get your Virgils and your Mo replacements. I just think it's really interesting. And I do think it'll be a big summer. I think it'll be a huge summer of outgoings. I really do. And I think there's potentially 5. I've named them. I put my name on. I put their name in there. Stand by what I said. I think it's Alvarez. It's either Alvarez, Isak, Osimhen, or Mbeumo. And potentially it could be Alvarez and Mbeumo. So it could potentially be 1 and 2. And you might even be able to throw I don't know, you might even be able to throw a Liam Delap in there. You might even be able to throw a Liam Delap in there, just as another body that we might go for, or a Paxio, just another body that goes in there. So you've got a main striker, and then you've got a player that can play in a number of positions in the team. I don't think Semenyo is one of them because I think I think they want too much money for him. I don't think Semenyo is one. But I do think there could be a possibility for even a Gordon, even a Gordon, an Anthony Gordon, could be one of them that come in there. So you've got the likes of an Alvarez and an Anthony Gordon, or an Alvarez and a Delap, or an Alvarez and a Mbeumo. There could be one of those. But then I genuinely believe it's going to be a Frimpong. I just don't see any more right backs. I really don't. There's the Kuiper, there's Martinez, there's Gertrude. There's not a huge amount of right backs that we're looking at. So I think it's probably going to be Frimpong. And then potentially the left back is going to be Kerkez, Anthony Robinson, maybe Gerald Hatto, maybe Hincapié. I don't see a huge amount of other left backs that we're looking at. I just don't. Vanderson's one on the right as well. That's a good point. Vanderson's name's come up as well. So yeah, they're pretty much the right backs. Centre back wise, I think it's Dean Huijsen. If it's not him, then it could be Jonathan Tah. And if it's not Jonathan Tah, then it could be a Gerald Hatto, or it could be a Hincapié who can play either position. But I just don't see anyone else. I really don't. I don't see Bastone. I don't see any of those guys leaving those clubs. I just don't see it. And then the midfielder, I think it's Stiller, or it's Adam Vorton, or it could be Hayden Hackney from Middlesbrough. I know people have talked about Joe Bellingham as well, and also Chris Rigg. They might get promoted to the Premier League. If they get promoted to the Premier League, then they're certainly not going to come to another Premier League club when they're going to go up with their own club. So I'm not sure where that one would fit. I think Joe Bellingham's targeted by Dortmund. Schlotterbeck, I don't know about Schlotterbeck, maybe. Gittins, I think Gittins has got Arsenal written all over him. I don't see many more. I don't see us raiding Real Madrid for anyone. The Williams stuff, I think, is garbage. I just don't think Nico Williams from Atletico from Atleti is one that's going to happen. Just don't see it. Bilbao, I don't see that. And that's pretty much it. Like we've nailed our names to the mast really with players that we're linked with, because we kind of know who they're probably going to be. We'll probably just leave it at that. But I'm out of here, guys. All right. You have a great weekend. Great Friday. I didn't really cover the game. I'll do that on Hissam's show later on tonight. I'm just going to see who's around now to direct you. 2 seconds. Bear with me. I'm just going to see who's live, and I will direct you. Who we got? Who we got that's live? Let's have a look. 2 seconds. Bear with me. Also, just put K-Mac Raid in there. Who am I directing you to? Who am I directing you to? Let's have a look. Who's live? Oh, Kopish are live. Okay, so I'm going to send you there. Okay, so I'm going to send you to Kopish. Kopish collab. So if you can stick it in the chat, K-Mac Raid. So if you can stick it in the chat, K-Mac Raid, that would be wonderful. And I will catch you on Hissam's show later on tonight. And we'll catch up then. But much love. If you haven't hit the like and subscribe, please do. Leave me any comments. And also, if you want to buy me a coffee, the link's in the chat to support the channel. I will catch you all later, guys and girls. I'm out of here.